This is the gorgeous and decidedly luxurious Bowers Wilkins 702 S2 speaker. There are design points here that started out in the upper echelons of the company's speaker line and have now trickled down to this reimagined series of speaker. And you know what? I'm just going to skip to the good part here. They sound superb. Now, Bowers Wilkins was already well known for producing iconic high-performance loudspeakers for recording studios and homes. In fact, their 800D reference monitor is in Abbey Road Studios to this day. But they've also seen some broader popularity thanks to some really successful wireless speakers and headphones. You've probably seen somebody wearing the P5 wireless on a plane. And yet still, I feel like with all that cachet, it's very difficult to sell a high-performance loudspeaker today, especially with companies like ELAC coming out with really great stuff at exceptionally low prices. So the thing is, you've got to stand out. And that's why I wanted to show you the 702 S2. It stands out not just visually, it's a gorgeous speaker, but it sounds really, really distinct, clear, neutral. It's just gorgeous. So let me back up a second and we'll start with the cabinetry. This is a dense, extremely well-braced cabinet designed to reduce unwanted resonances to an absolute minimum. And the finish here is exemplary. Not a ripple in this perfect gloss piano black. And I know from prior experience that the satin white and rose nut options are equally well executed. If we start at the top of the speaker, we find a decoupled carbon dome tweeter. This kind of isolation used to be reserved for Bowers Wilkins' most expensive designs, but here we see it in the flagship of the 700 series. And below that is a 150mm cone made of a brand new material designed by Bowers Wilkins called Continuum. B&W ditched Kevlar for this material of its own making, and it's meant to be extremely resilient, offering up a very clean and open mid-range free of coloration. And then finally, down below, there's three 6.5-inch bass drivers, and these are isolated from the other drivers in the cabinet, again, in pursuit of a very clean and neutral sound. I know I keep repeating terms like clean, neutral, open, and natural because that's what Bowers Wilkins promises with this speaker, and in my testing, I found that's exactly what they deliver. I'm struck by the refined bass response especially. These speakers don't fake bass or thump out one-note style bass that gives you the impression of depth. What you get is clean, taut, tonally accurate bass with good extension. And if you want to further refine it to your taste or the characteristics of your room, a pair of foam port plugs are offered. The mid-range is very smooth and really lifelike, though it stops short of leaping out at you the way so many mid-range forward speakers are voiced today. And then finally, the treble region drives home that sense of clarity with a character I think is best described as luminescent. There's a bit of sparkle here, which may initially come off as bright if you're used to warmer sounding speakers, but allow your ears to relax into them and you'll notice remarkable detail. And what really struck me was the level of tone to extremely high frequency instruments. The ride cymbal in a number of the jazz recordings I used to audition these speakers with had a definitive tone to it that I don't often hear, and it was a joy to just soak myself in it while I was listening. At $4,500, the 702 S2 is certainly an aspirational speaker for most folks, but I also think that it's totally attainable. I like this best as a music speaker. The sound stage and the imaging is just great, and it's got that clean, neutral tone top to bottom. You really hear your recording, not the speaker. That said, you could also have this double as a home theater speaker. In fact, B&W makes a matching center channel for any of the speakers in the 7 series. Either way, I think that these are definitely worth a listen if you're in the market for a serious music listening speaker. That's our take on the Bowers Wilkins 702 S2. Be sure to check back at Digital Trends for all our excellent speaker reviews, and we'll see you next time.